Hey folks, it's Jim, it's Julie, it's episode 249 of Geeking Out. Next week is our big 250th episode. We're still not sure what we're going to do or who's going to even show up, so be sure to tune in because it might be a really big surprise. So this week we've got 8 more comic book reviews for you, so let's start off with Baltimore.
This is Baltimore The Inquisitor. It's number 15 in a series of Baltimore titles, though they are not strictly tied in together, which is kind of cool
and yet confusing at the same time.
Exactly. However, I'm gonna say this first and foremost. You guys know that I don't really read a lot of Mike Mignola stuff. I am very, very new to this universe. However, I didn't feel lost.
Which is good.
So, that said, it's 1917 in Austria-Hungary, and writer Mr. Hodge has been imprisoned for crimes he's not even sure that he knows what they are. And he's hoping that with his meeting with Mr. Andrei Duvik, that he'll find out what's going on. Now, Mr. Duvik spent his life in an orphanage and has dedicated his entire life, everything that he is, to the church. He went from living in the orphanage to becoming a priest, eventually a exorcist, and now he is part of their Inquisition team. So,
no one ever suspects the Inquisition.
Never. I really enjoyed this book, and I think that you guys will enjoy it. Even as a one-off, interesting type story, it really holds its own. I understood everything that was going on. They gave me all of the information that I required in the book, which always pleases me. And yeah, I think that you guys should go out and give this one a chance.
Alright, next up we have Serusis, or Serusis, or we're not sure how to pronounce it.
Or Sir Mumble Mumble Mumble.
Yes. So Tom, if you might be watching, let me know, please.
Yeah, give us a phonetic pronunciation.
Alright, and in this one, young Kayla gets a job on a movie set with the help of her sister Amy. But little do any of them know that they are being watched by a strange reptilian race who think they may be the ones able to help save their race.
Huh. Is there a small baby that bangs the dad over the head and cries, "Not the mama, not the mama"?
No, but they are reptilian. But this, I've really enjoyed a lot of what Big Dog has been doing over the past few years, from Critter to Wicked West to a few other titles that I've had the opportunity to review. I honestly think this is probably their weakest title.
Really? It looked neat.
It's really nice, and it's got fun characters, but the story is a bit jumbled at points. Still, art-wise, it's great. Color-wise, it's great. But I think I need a bit more insight into the world before I can really get into the series as a whole.
That's fair.
So, to me, it's a bit weak, but it's still not a bad first issue.
And there are redeeming factors that once you get in a couple of issues, hopefully the story will
set itself straight.
Yeah.
So
we'll find out enough about the other world.
So I don't highly recommend it, but if you do want to try something a little different, then sure, check it out. Big Dog does a lot of great stuff, and this will probably turn out to be... I'll probably be wrong, and this will probably turn out great. So check it out if you want, but I just couldn't not get into the first issue.
Alright, next up for me in a really good week of comic reviews is XFiles, Season 10, Number 1.
Oh boy, I wonder where in continuity this fits.
I am really not sure. I missed most of the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and then there were the 2 movies, which also kind of...
I believe that this takes place after the second movie. For reasons that I am not going to divulge. But that's my belief, is that this is the newest story. It doesn't go back in time. It's picking up from where the movie left. So, Mulder and Scully are in hiding hiding as the Blakes. And everything is going fantastically. Right up until Agent Skinner comes for a visit. Or no, I should say Deputy Director Skinner comes for a visit. At which point they learn that the FBI's been compromised and possibly the X-Files as well.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
And they learn that they might possibly be in danger, which, is true.
They're Mulder and Scully. They're always in danger.
Exactly. This book was so good that it made me want to go back and rewatch X-Files from the very beginning.
Well, lucky you, most of those seasons are now only $10 each.
Yes! I really enjoyed the book. It has a super, super, super simplistic art style.
Which I kind of really could not get into myself, but I can understand why it works.
I liked it in this because the TV show wasn't a lot of glitz and glam. They left it fairly campy.
Yeah, but the show is also much darker in tone.
Yes.
As well, so this is a bit brighter.
They play a lot with tones throughout the book. I feel like it did a very good job of keeping true to what the television show was.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. Even I was very dubious about the art style myself when I first started. And I really enjoyed it. I don't feel as though it took anything away. So, go check it out. Do yourself a favor. It's really good.
Alright, next up we have another book from IDW. It's Wild Blue Yonder, #1. In this one, mankind has destroyed the Earth, and the only refuge from radioactive pollution can be found in the skies. Can the crew of the Dawn escape the merciless judges?
No!
No, of course not! They're all doomed!
The answer to that question is always no.
No. Because what would that do for a comic? I mean, it wouldn't make it fun. So, anyway... This book is absolutely gorgeous. Really interesting characters, really great story, and just beautiful artwork here. It's tonally very dark at points, but it's also got some light-hearted humor as well, which really works well in this particular instance. And I quite enjoyed it. If you want to try out a book that you might not have seen anything like before, check this one out. Tonally, it kind of reminds me of early Rocketeer stuff and some other well-known pulp comics. So I actually really enjoyed it, and I think you probably will too.
Alright. You know what I really enjoyed but was surprised? Transformers Monstrosity #1.
Yes, folks, this is true. Julie actually reviewed a Transformers comic. And
I enjoyed it a lot. So in this one, Megatron has fallen, and as a part of his bid for leadership to the Decepticons, Megatron has been exiled by... Oh no, I didn't write it down. Scorponok. So he's been exiled to the planet Junkion by Scorponok. Meanwhile, Optimus Prime is setting up Parliament, essentially, and the Dinobots are trying to collect enough credits to get off-world. And I'm really enjoying this book. So,
It's basically a collection of an online comic, which was on a little while ago. Just turned into a mini-series in press.
It's really good, and I think that you guys should really check this out.
Really nice as well.
The art's nice, the story was good. I know nothing about the Transformers other than what the movies have shown me.
Which is nothing like what the real Transformers are like, but anyway.
That's what I've been told. And I didn't feel lost. They introduced me to the characters well enough. Every once in a while I had troubles distinguishing between the different Transformers. But I'm sure that comes with time.
Yeah.
So, if you're a Transformers fan, if you know a Transformers fan, or if you would like to be a Transformers fan, this is the book that I would start with.
Alright, next up, we have The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, #1. And years ago, the Killjoys fought against the Better Living Industries, costing them their lives. Except...
Costing the Killjoys their lives?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Except for the mysterious girl.
Is that her name? The mysterious girl?
I don't think we actually know her name. They never really say. Now it's up to her to take up the mantle and bring down the BLI, or else she might just join the mindless ranks of Bat City. So this is another continuation of the Killjoys storyline, which is from another band, and it's okay. The art here is really beautiful, because it's Amanda Connor, I believe. Or, sorry, no, Becky Cloonan, sorry. They have a very similar style, so forgive me for that one. But I quite enjoyed this one. It's really nice to look at. Just the storyline, unless you've read the last few books in this series, you're probably going to be a little confused. But art-wise, it's absolutely gorgeous to look at, and it's got some very interesting characters, and a very dynamic world is presented here, which is really good, because I like that kind of thing. Tonally, it's post-apocalyptic. Of course.
Yeah.
But music's pretty much dead. There's no more music, and...
Sad face.
Yeah, and industries run the world. So, this little ragtag team of kids is trying to stop that. So...
It sounds really good.
It's interesting, and like I said, Becky Cloonan's art here is really beautiful. So, if you're a fan of the last few series, then check this one out. But I can't recommend it highly unless you've read all those series before. Otherwise, you're going to be a little tad confused. But other than that, it's a really, really beautiful series.
Sounds good. Alright guys, time for my pick of the week. This is My Little Pony Micro Series number 5, featuring Pinkie Pie!
Hi, Pinkie!
So, in this, Coca-Cola is giving away 2 tickets.
Yes, you heard that right. Coca-Cola.
Yes. They're giving away 2 tickets to see the amazing, the splendiferous Ponyaccio. Ponyacci. Yeah. I kept reading it with a hard C and not a ch. Which then led me to... Anyways, so, it's taken her 315 bottles of Coca-Cola, but Pinkie Pie has finally won the tickets. And
lost all her teeth.
Yes. And she's taking Twilight Sparkle with her to meet her idol, the greatest clown ever in all Equestria. I really, really, really loved this book.
It's so hyperkinetic and it just works so well.
Yes. It's a wonderful story. I really strongly recommend all of these My Little Pony books to a younger female audience particularly, because they have such a good message in every book. Mm-hmm. There's something to be learned everywhere in these books.
And even guys will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know I do, and it's just a fun little book.
Exactly. It's a really fun book that has a really solid message in every book. Bright colors. It's not painful for the parents because they can sit and laugh at, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and some of the adult humor that's also presented.
Not so much adult humor in this one.
No, but there are some jokes that not all kids will get.
Exactly. So. These books are just fantastic, and I really, really think that parents should do themselves and their children a favor by introducing them to them.
Alright, and last up this week, we have Max Brooks, the writer of World War Z, and not that terrible-looking Brad Pitt portion. We have the Extinction Parade, number 1. And in this one, it's vampires versus zombies, and we're what's for dinner.
It's a good tagline.
That's my tagline.
It's a really good tagline.
So, zombies are decimating the vampires' food source. Us. Mm-hmm. And now the vampires must decimate the Walking Dead to ensure their survival. So, yeah, this is vampires versus zombies.
So this is blood, guts, and gore.
Lots of it. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I like Max Brooks' writing here. He does put in a little bit of humor because, well, he's Mel Brooks' son, so hey, he knows the humor gene. But I actually had a good laugh at a few of the jokes in here, and there's some Twilight jokes about vampires and history and stuff like that, which I did have a good giggle at. And you also find out that zombies don't see vampires, because, well, they're dead! They ignore them completely. They just kind of just bump into them and walk on.
Like walking into a telephone pole?
Basically, yeah.
Huh.
And so the vampires use this as an excuse to basically go and start chopping zombies down, because it's not like the zombies are going to notice. But then it comes down to, what if the zombies start to notice?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I like where this is going. This is not for all ages, most assuredly.
This is definitely a mature audience.
Oh yeah, anyone 18 over, you're going to probably have a good fun time with this one. If you're a fan of the World War Z books or anything else by Max Brooks, this is actually a lot of fun, and it's really bloody and really gory, and you do have some interesting characters here, which is always good. And
so they actually gave us characters and blood, guts, and gore?
Yep, exactly.
That's awesome.
So I highly recommend this one. Check it out if you get a chance. It's really good. Alright, so that brings us to the close of episode 249. We will be back next week with episode 250. We hope to see you then. Bye Pinkie!